This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is going out. Rob.
I like going out and getting drunk. It's fun, isn't it? I got so drunk the other week, it was the most hungover I've ever been. In the morning, I bought a McDonald's breakfast and ate it in the queue for a Greggs. And I still don't know if I'm ashamed or proud. So I don't like tequila, though. I don't like doing shots. It annoys me with tequila. It's too much admin, isn't it? So I'll lick a bit of salt, eat a lemon. What are you doing that for? It makes it taste nicer. It's not fish and chips, is it? So it's all, no one looks like they're enjoying it. Everyone looks panicked, don't they? They're always like, oh, thank God for the salt and lemon. They're loving it, aren't they? Do you know what make a tequila nicer? Do a tequila, then have a Cadbury's cream egg. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Take the taste out of your mouth. The thing is, as well, though, it's like I can't properly get on it now. I'm, like, a bit older. I'm not saying I'm too old to get drunk, but when I was 18, you don't care, do you? You can get battered. Just get on with it, right? Because hangovers, they say hangovers get worse. They don't, do they? You just have more shit to do when you're older. That's the problem. When I was 18 on a night out, I'd be getting on it. Someone might go, do you want some drugs? I'm like, oh, I don't know. How'll it affect me? What will my mum think? Oh, my God, drugs. Now, if I'm on a night out, someone like, do you want some drugs? Can't, mate. Got to paint a fence tomorrow. I don't want to be painting a fence all sad. All hot, sweaty and vulnerable, like, oh. I was really looking forward to painting this fence last night. Told everyone about it. I'm so hot, sweaty and sad. I'm more likely to keep hold of the drugs, do them in the morning before the fence, just smash it like that. I'll do the roof, shall I do the roof? Let's do the roof. We've got no ladder. I'm flying, Mum.
Thank you very much, Rob. OK, that leaves with James. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And it's food and drink.
I'm not like Rob. I don't like going out and getting drunk. I like staying in. I drink on my own. Way cooler, man. I lock the door, I get myself a glass of punch. Is that weird? I drink punch on my own. Is that strange? I drink it from a big punch bowl with a ladle in it in the corner of my bedroom. Is that weird? I don't know what other people do. People are always worried about punch getting spiked. Solo punch, problem solved. Not to spike myself, unless it's Fun Time Thursdays. Tried going out with some mates recently. We hit the town. I'm a prankster when I'm out with my friends. One of them left me alone with his pint while he went to the toilet. Big mistake. It's a classic prank. I always do this if someone leaves me alone with their pint. I went round the bar using his pint to propose toasts with. Deliberately proposing toasts to things I knew he disagreed with. He comes back, has a sip. What you done with that? I'm like, ha. You just drank to the service charge being included in the bill. You just drank to those bedside lamps that don't have the switch on the cord like is convenient, but have it on the neck of the lamp under the bulb. It's like a bolt you have to somehow slide across, and you can't even reach it like that. You get your whole hand up inside the lampshade, and it hurts. It's really awkward. You can't even see it. You got to look at the top of the lampshade to see what you're doing, and then you turn it on and it blinds you. You just drank to those lamps. You love those lamps.
Thank you very much. Point for both of you. Come on. Very good. Thank you very much. The first subject is travel. Miles.
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with trains. It's the quiet coach, OK? Quiet, that is an adjective. It doesn't go far enough. Quiet is an adjective. It should be called the silent coach. Shouldn't it? The silent coach. No one would have any trouble understanding that. It's the silent coach, right? You can't talk on it, you can't use your laptop, children can't travel on it, you can't eat crisps, and crucially, the train people, they wouldn't be allowed to make announcements. Because the sort of people that have the mentality to travel on the quiet coach, which is the correct mentality, are the sort of people who check where the train is going before they bloody get on it. For years. We've just not got these things right. You, mock the weak audience. You're exactly the sort of people that know what I'm talking about. In Russia, during the revolution, right? During the Russian Revolution, the Russian army was able to travel to all of its battles by train. During a revolution, they were still able to rely on public transport. Imagine if we had a revolution now and the army had to rely on transport, we'd be buggered, wouldn't we? Certainly, certainly those of us who wanted the army to win. Absolute nightmare, wouldn't it? Marston Moor 2016 kicked off. You know, the British Army turning up 7 hours late to every single conflict. Oh, sorry, there were leaves on the line at Stevenage. There was a passenger action at Crewe. We were going to be joined by the SAS, but they've been stuck on a rail replacement bus service in Horrified.
Thank you very much, Miles. OK, now leaves Milton. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And subject is music.
We don't know much about Galileo. He was a poor boy from a poor family. I live in a Grade 2 listed building, which of course means that everyone in it has to be quite good at the piano. Apparently all Chinese children who are learning to play the piano know a tune called Knife and Fork. I'd like to take the band ABBA out for lunch, and if I could, I would, my friend. For Nando's. When I was at school and it rained, we used to have to stay in for wet play. And when it was cold, we used to have to stay in and listen to this really dull band. AD 79. Julius Caesar receives the first ever weather forecast. Hail Caesar.
Thank you very much. Points there go to Milton Jones. Come on. And the first subject is jobs. Who wants to come at? Reese.
I've got a job. Yep, I'm not resigning. And my job is this, which still counts Dad. This is a good job. It's not perfect. It's not the best job in the world. I would never say that. Some people think it is. It's not, right? Best job in the world, community support officer. With no power comes no responsibility. Best job ever. But nothing is expected of you if you're a community support officer, right? If it's not writing down someone's details, then it is beyond your remit. That is 100%. It's just vigilante admin. That's all it is. You're a professional grass. That is your job. I got a leaflet through the post a few weeks ago advertising that job, right? It said, do you have what it takes to be the best? Will you stand up in the face of danger when no one else will? No? Then you should become a community support officer. In the hierarchy of law enforcement in this country, it goes Army, Police, British Transport Police, Ticket Inspector, Traffic Warden, Park Ranger, Dinner Lady, Kid wearing Nike trainers, Kid wearing Adidas trainers, Community Support Officer, Kid wearing Umbro.
Well done. Reese. OK, that leads with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel again. The topic is technology. OK, where you go.
The young couple next door to me have recently made a sex tape. I mean, obviously, they don't know that yet. The hardest part of making skimmed milk must be throwing the cows across the lake. The guy next to me at work used to watch porn all day. I'm just glad he didn't begin to rub off on me. I think if I was to try revenge porn, I'd just post naked pictures of myself online so everybody would know how low my ex's standards were. When answering the security question, place of birth, apparently vagina is not an acceptable answer. It's been a tough week. I got myself a memory foam mattress and now it's trying to blackmail me. I've currently got a stalker, but you probably can't tell in these trousers. A friend of mine was killed by the big C. He was walking past Curry's and a sign fell on his head. I was watching TV and the announcer said there's a documentary about the clitoris on the red button, but I couldn't find it. Thank you.
Very good. Points there for a guy lady. Come on back. The first subject is health. Who wants to come in on that? John.
I went to get some test results from my GP the other day, and she sat me down and she said, "I'm very sorry to tell you, Mr. Robbins, but you've got gout." And I was absolutely stunned. She said, "You seem surprised to hear you've got gout." I said, "Yes, I am, because I'm not from the 17th century." She said, "The first thing you need to avoid, Mr. Robbins, is alcohol." Now, it's gutting, because what do you replace alcohol with? I am not a doob monger, nor do I ride the Chinese highway. By which I mean I don't take drugs. I think mainly because I don't have the vocabulary to oversee a transaction. So she says, "The second thing you need to avoid, Mr. Robbins, is cheese." And I said, out loud, to a respectable GP in her late 60s, "What the fuck, mate?" Then she gets this serious look on her face, and she says, "The third thing you need to avoid, Mr. Robbins, and this is very important, is offal." Well, I'll tell you what, if I didn't damn near spit that pig's ear clean out of my mouth. Turns out gout is actually a very serious condition, and after a lot of soul-searching, I've decided to cut offal entirely out of my diet. I'm not going to make you imagine what that's like. It's my cross, and I'll bear it. And I'll tell you how I bear it. Pissed and covered in cheese.
Well done. Thank you very much. That leaves us with James. Let's see what you've been at with. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is moving house.
I moved house recently. Luckily. That's good, isn't it? It's fortunate. Touch and go for a second there, and that came up, and I was like, ka-ching! Jackpot! I did move house recently. Tad too drafty for my liking, my new house. Had to order a draft excluder by post. Best way to buy a draft excluder is by post, because when they deliver it, they post it through the door, it drops through the letterbox onto the floor. Already it's paying for its own postage. Moved to West London. I used to live in South West London. Different times, I was a different person. Used to be in a gang. Big time in a gang. SW6 gang is our name. It's the area of London we're from, is our name. And it's what we'd shout at other gangs we didn't like much. Like, if I saw the SW5 gang, for example, we'd shout at them, SW6! That's clever. I remember once, back in the day, we're out and about, SW6 crew, taking no shit. Looked across the road, we saw them, SW5 gang. And as soon as I saw them, I was cross. Shouted at them, SW6! As per. They shouted back at us, SW5! Which we expected, but it still made us angry. SW6 back at them, SW5 back at us, back and forth for ages. Until eventually, I got so overstimulated that I shouted out my entire postcode. In in full, and that is why I had to move house.
Well done. Point there for James Acaster. The first subject is alternative medicine. Can I have a volunteer to talk about that? Andy.
Apparently, a lot of people trying to get into therapy at the moment, other people knocking it, saying, you know, oh, well, you should just lose your inhibitions, talk about your problems to your friends. I thought I'd try this. I talked about my problems to my friends for a whole hour. Lost my inhibitions, also lost my friends. I now tell my problems to taxi drivers. 2 advantages in this. 1, it stops the taxi driver from telling you his problems. And 2, it's amazing how much quicker you get to your bloody destination.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is the media. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
I'll do that. I'd see, you know, the way I like getting the news is Radio 5 Live. It's fantastic, 'cause it's just news and nutters, isn't it? They'll read out, like, that was the Pope's view on abortion, and then, hello, Felicity Puddleduck here, livid and ill-informed. I'd just like to say those harlots should give birth to their children aged 2 that charge you to national service. I'm off to bake a cake. And sat there listening, and then the next night, David, are you out of your mind? Cloning? Think it through. 2 versions of me. Want to go out and commit a crime? Who gets blamed for it? Me! I'm doing a 20 stretch. He's banging my wife. Where's the justice? And you sat there listening to these nutters, and then the most ridiculous story. A man in Bristol's found the face of Jesus on a crisp. And suddenly, I couldn't believe how you put up my frazzles. There he was!
Russell Howard. OK, the leads are Hugh and Frankie. The next topic is sport.
Do you know, I've heard a rumour that horse racing may not be completely honest. It's unbelievable, isn't it? But how do you stop the corruption? Well, one solution may be to call horses something like mafia-backed second favourite. Because if everyone did that, everyone would be confused, no one would know who to bet on, and the whole thing would be fair again. And they're off, and the first to show is blatantly bribed, followed by mafia-backed second favourite. They're just ahead of Dope to the Gills, Mysterious Limp. And just behind them, Out for a Canter, and I'll fall at the 5th. And as they come to the 5th, I'll fall at the 5th has fallen. I'll fall at the 5th has fallen at the 5th in a magnificent display of cheating. And they're coming into the final furlong. Mysterious Limp is slowing. Out for a Canter is clearly struggling, but coming through strongly is mafia-backed second favourite. And as they cross the line, mafia-backed second favourite has won it, which is remarkable, seeing as he has no head. That's been left in someone's bed for tomorrow morning.
Well done, you. Well done, you. OK, Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. And it's environment.
Didn't that used to be an advert for mints? Ryanair getting a hard time from the environmental lobby because they've launched a £7 flight to New York. Although, as always with Ryanair, it does land slightly outside New York, in Dublin. It's a pity we can't harness more natural energy, isn't it? Pity we can't harness the power of British moaning. Oh no, that moaning-powered light bulb's on the blink again. Oh no, there it is, back on. Everyone complained about the floods, didn't they? I like storms. I like thunder and lightning. What I like to do during a storm is shag my girlfriend and pretend that we're taking part in the conception of the Antichrist.
Frankie Royal, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie and you.